और की सबसे पसंदीदा कार रही है। ऐसी एक कार जिसकी यादें भारत के लाखों मध्यम वर्गीय परिवारों से जुड़ी हैं। मारुति 800 को लेकर कंपनी के सीनियर ईडी मार्केटिंग के सेल्स हेड शशांक श्रीवास्तव क्या कह रहे हैं, आइए सुनते हैं।
The used car price stays for a very long time at a very high level. In fact, after 3 years, you still have about 65% of the value of the car you get back. In fact, interestingly, my first car, which was a Maruti 800, which I got in 1990, I purchased it for about 89,000. Then when the company allotted me a car from the company, I sold off my personal car. That car I sold off for 1,10,000, which is higher than the price at which I bought. I sold it off.
So you flipped a car and made money?
Yes, sort of.
I would have flipping real estate. This is flipping a car.
Yes, it is. In those times, it was quite normal, actually, that the car did not depreciate.
Somebody then told me that Maruti took some active decisions and came out with some things that people would not do speculation and would actually buy a car for end use.
Yes. So, but the one which I am telling you is that the price of the car, which people used to pay after 5 or 6 years, was higher than obviously what they did earlier. In my case, was the same. So I use it for 5-6 years, and then I get back not only the money but even more
money.
So that was something which really attracted the consumer, because it also meant that the Maruti's resale price held its value for a very long time. It still does, and that's a great positive for Maruti Suzuki.
Hi, I'm sitting in the first ever Maruti 800 that was ever manufactured. With me is the Senior Executive Director of Maruti Suzuki India, Mr. Shashank Shrivastava. You know, my entire childhood is coming back to me, sir. When I'm sitting in the Maruti 800, this is the car, this is the people's car.
Yeah.
Come, let's talk about the people's car. Thank you for this road trip back to my childhood. It felt really great sitting in it. This is, of course, before we had seat belts. It is the people's car.
Yes, so it actually, you know, Nayantara, this is the first car ever sold by Maruti Suzuki. It was sold to a Delhi resident. He was a Sardarji. He used to live in Green Park. He's no more now. But we got this car back from the family, and here it is at display, and people are really curious to see, because as you can see, the other cars, the latest ones, they are absolutely new, different technology as time has progressed. But that's also, I think, the story of India's economic progress and the change that has happened in the mobility of our country.
In fact, we are here today because we want to talk about India at 75. That's what we're celebrating. And how can we talk about that without talking about Maruti, the people's car, the country's largest automaker? But you know, you've given me this very interesting piece of information. You bought back the first car that was ever manufactured. How much did you buy it back for?
Actually, I'm not aware of how much it was bought for, but yes, it
how
has...
did you trace him back? That's the other thing.
No, so he, you know, over a period of time...
Because Maruti 800s were always resold, remember?
Correct. So we always, were tracking where this customer is. He was in Delhi, so actually this car was handed over to him by our Prime Minister, Indira Gandhi, at that time.
That's a very famous photograph.
Yes, so this is a famous photograph. It's indeed an iconic moment, not just for Maruti Suzuki, but it was an iconic moment for the entire country.
ऑलराइट, ये एक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग बातचीत चल रही थी। शशांक श्रीवास्तव मारुति के कुछ अपनी यादें बता रहे थे और कंपनी का यहाँ से रोड मैप क्या है ये भी बता रहे थे हमारी कुलीग नयनतारा राय को। आज दिन